This is RPMMO Radio.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
A podcast all about role-playing and MMORPGs.
I like what you got. Good job!
With your hosts, Ashen Phoenix, Sid, Jazz, Strophe, and Kishmas.
Everybody off. We need to go on a quick adventure. Greetings and welcome to RPMMO Radio. This is episode 29. I am one of your hosts, Ashen Phoenix. And of course, with me are the others, Jazz, Kishmas, Sib, and Strophe. How's everybody doing tonight?
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Doing all right. All right. Like I said, this is episode 29. I roleplay. We're going to see about what it's like trying to explain the bullshit that you do in your spare time to things like friends and worse, family.
Family members.
Family, they don't get it. They're like, nah, no, I don't get it. It's very awkward, and it's going to be a lot of fun to pretty much embarrass ourselves, and more importantly, our family members with their utter ignorance of nerd stuff. But before we get into all of that, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight at twitch.tv/RPMMO Radio. We are here live every Saturday night, 7 Central Time. If you're wanting to listen to it as a podcast, of course, iTunes. I'm going to stop suggesting Google Play because I've been trying to use that lately, and it is fucking garbage. I don't know what they've done to it. Oh, man, it's just...
I haven't tried it in a while, but it wasn't very good to start off with.
No, it wasn't good to start with, but the fact that it stopped updating the without really trying to cajole it and refresh it, it wasn't like updating new episodes, and I wasn't the only one. There's a few podcast forums. I'm like... And I thought it was just something on my phone, and other people like, hey, has anybody else noticed that Google Play hasn't updated, anything?
Ever?
And they're like, yeah, so...
It's fucking Google Play.
Right. But however, the Android phones do have a shit ton of podcast apps, so just any Android is going to be a good night for speech and English.
Words!
Okay, I like it to talking now. Favorite Android podcast apps? What? I was speaking.
Don't.
No, I was speaking Asian for our Asian listeners. That's how they all. That's what Asian sounds like. I don't know if you've ever met an Asian, Jazz, in your white privilege. Man, check your privilege, Whitey.
Heavens.
I think
it's going to be one of those shows.
I think Chris Farley had it right? Am I right, guys? Kill
You're right,
Whitey.
yes.
That's right. Anyway.
Apparently we're the most evil thing ever, so yeah.
That's right. And there's a shit ton of Android podcast apps. Chatbox, I think, is one or something like that. They all have us on there, so damn near every podcast app at this point, we're going to be there. But if you want to do us a favor, though, on the iTunes one, you can actually leave us a review. That would be awesome, because for whatever fucking reason, iTunes is the only one that allows that. And when it goes good on iTunes, it goes good everywhere because...
Yes, it does.
Because reasons. And I know there's a lot of you Apple listeners out there, so we would appreciate it. And if you don't use iTunes, I don't really blame you, but we'd still appreciate it. All the same. It's not the best promo for asking for stuff, but I do also want to give a special thanks to all of our Patreon donors, especially that guy Laza, who is not only at the highest tier of Patreon donation, but also a damn fine, good-looking person.
That guy Laza.
That's right. I assume it's a guy because it's in the name.
Yes.
And also he's Australian. Australian for beer. And if he's listening, this one's for you, mate. Put another shrimp on the barbie, am I right? Oi, oi, oi.
I will say, the other day, I was in the chat with him, and I did hear him pop a beer. So
trust me, I hear that almost on a nightly basis.
Right.
When I'm in there with Travis and Love.
But he does say Foster's. I know here in America, Foster's is big. He says that's basically piss water down in Australia. So we're drinking Australia's leftover piss water. It's basically their version
Leftover?
of
What are you
Pabst
talking about?
Blue Ribbon.
Paps.
Yeah, when you got to get drunk on a budget.
There's Natural Light. For everything else, there's Pabst Blue Ribbon.
That's right. So we appreciate you, Laza. It's and everybody, Gangsy, and a couple others. And by a couple others, I mean one. There's just the three of them, but we appreciate all three of them. And if you would like to be appreciated too, more than you already are, because we do appreciate you, but we appreciate them more. I'm not one to pit people against you guys, each other, but I'm just saying the things the donors say about the non-donors it's sad. I mean, they're just really mean. They're mean about it. And if you want to get, if you want to be not made fun of anymore, I'm just saying it's probably not a bad idea. Just a buck.
Mm-hmm.
If you're cool, you'll hit that Patreon page.
That's right.
That's right.
But more, actually, even more than that, we're still at 45 subscribers on Twitch. So if you haven't subscribed with the little heart button, please do. We're almost to 50, where we can actually do some extra crap and try to get Twitch to do a little bit more for us. And it actually opens up things to you, because at that point, you guys can donate shit. Patreon link. Thanks to Truth Bob. That's a good idea. Patreon.com/RPMMO Radio is the direct link. So you can go there and But when you get to a certain status, affiliate status on Twitch, you can actually donate little bits and things like that. And when you do that, like what you guys write in the comment section will actually come up over the show itself. So it's not just you commenting. If you actually got something you really, really want to say and you think it's worth being heard, you can do that, and it will actually do the electronic voiceover thingy of what you said. So, like,
well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, which is pretty fun, and it adds a little bit to the show. And, of course, we are also a call-in show, speaking of, which you can do through our Discord, which you can get to at rpmmoradio.com/Discord if you're not already part of it. Feel free to join us. It's always a lot of fun. There's usually updates and stuff like that on the show, and we've got a few things hopefully coming in the future, which I'll get to here after a little while. But you can just go to our Discord, go to the caller waiting room, and throw yourself in there. Just make sure you got your things like a mic are often helpful. I've noticed.
Yeah, mics are good.
Mics are good. Yeah, me being a mic, I know that we're also amazing, talented, and fantastic people. And you walked right into that one, Jess.
Where did you find him? I'm curious.
I don't know. It's like he just dropped out of the sky right on top of me. I had no choice.
www.russianbrides.com. I felt very pretty on my wedding day. I was gorgeous. I wear low cut dress. Very pretty. Show off bosoms.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like in Chocolate 30 meters.
That's right. I'm strong like 10 Russian women. So yeah, just hit that like button on Twitch. We appreciate it. Even if you don't see us on Twitch, again, just give it a shot. It'll only make the show better. The more people we have out there, the better we go. Oh, and speaking of making the show better, we're getting rid of everybody else. Oh wait, no. Human Floyd actually reached out to us, and for anybody that listens to it on YouTube, they're actually RPHQ is gonna throw up our stuff on theirs, because they have a much bigger YouTube presence, and I don't really care that much about YouTube, because as people have been using YouTube have seen, it ain't going well for YouTube.
Doo-doo sauce.
The demonetization of certain content.
Of the vast majority of all content. Unless your name is PewDiePie, you're not making a lot of money off of that anymore. So yeah. And it's just they have a lot more people. I know it'll help our RPHQ out and help us out. So it's it's mutual beneficiary stuff of the benefits. So I'm trying to do something there. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Okay. Okay, so with all of that fun stuff out of the way, what have we been doing in RP? Who wants to go first? Jazz, I'm picking you this time.
You always pick me.
I do, because you know why? You're at the top of the list on the under live under my name, so that makes you automatically first this time.
Good to know. Yeah, I really have been kind of loaded down with work, so I haven't done much but log in and do horses and quest a little bit. So that's kind of been my whole thing. But I did focus a little bit on Sully's RP, who is the Dark Elf and does the Telvanni RP.
Ew.
So I've been working on that, and also getting some new people into the guild. So I've been on Kia quite a bit while I do the whole guild leader thing. So that's pretty much been my whole week. Yep.
Getting those noobs in there. Stupid noobs. Wait, no, crap, you need those. Dang it.
Yeah, you do need those.
Man, if only there was some sort of pathway to citizenship for them.
Dude,
You know,
I swear to God.
they are cheap labor. You know. It is what
Yeah,
it
I
is.
mean, you bring them in at the lowest rank. That's going to be how you get your lettuce picked. I'm just saying, somebody's got to pick virtual lettuce, and it's going to be newbies in your guild.
So you start off nice. They show up, you get them your guild, then you can mistreat them. This is how
Right?
this works.
Yeah, and then you abuse them because what are they
Yeah.
going to do? You know,
And it's-
they're going
They
to go
just
to
tell-
the
we'll
shitty
stay
guild.
around.
You tell them
Those
you
are
have to. You're like, hey, I need some ERP from you.
That's right.
If you want to be in the guild, that's how this works.
If you want to level
no.
up, you got to put out. That's what I'm saying.
You got to work your way to the top.
That's right. I've seen enough
You
80s
work-
movies
you work
during
your
Wall
body.
Street.
Oh, Lord.
This is just getting worse and worse.
That's right.
It
Hey,
just is not getting any better, no.
Jazz, if there's anything I learned from watching Mad Men, it's that women like being put in their place and being talked down. That's what I learned. I think that was the moral of the story for the show Mad Men. That's what I learned.
I think so, huh?
That's that. Have you seen that show?
Anyway, we're going to go with ladies first. So on my RP
Man.
this week, I actually got a promotion to initiate in the Servants of the Tribunal, which I was so excited. Let's see. I did my other guild meeting, or they have the guild night on Thursday, so I went over there and hung out and chatted. Strafe's character, which
She did.
my character and his character have had some major headbutting going on right now, so it's kind of fun because he's just too nice of a character. She doesn't like it. But
Oh,
she's
the
an orc.
bane of everything. You're too
She's
nice.
she's an orc. She doesn't like nice.
Nice guys finish last, Strafe.
Or not at
Know
all.
that.
It's not true, alright?
It's totally true.
Hello, my lady.
Lady.
No,
If I've learned
Uh,
anything from my asshole tune from back in EQ2, no one cares if you play the Legolas archetype. They could care less. The minute you play the Dark Elf Assassin who wants to murder the world, you will be covered up in female affection.
That's right. Just like in the show Mad Men, where they teach you how to treat women.
And there it comes back to that.
my God, this is this is how I ended up with him. It's the bad boy thing. I just think that's how it happened, and I'm just like, what was I thinking?
That's right. And also,
with that
I-
nice
Friend
guy.
zone all the nice guys.
Yeah, I should have. Guys.
and I win. Because it's all
I
about
got friend zoned
all
again.
about winning. And also let her kids play with plastic grocery bags over their head, which I also learned in Mad Men was okay. There was actually a scene because the thing's set back in the 50s, and like this mom is talking with her friend, and their kid comes in and they're playing with the garment bags from the dry cleaners, and they're like, "Look, Mom, I'm a ghost," and they're like, "That better not have come off of my dress. Now go put it back."
Not
Yeah.
don't play with that.
Not because they
Oh,
might
dear gosh.
suffocate. But dude, that's exactly how that shit was. We had to kill off a few hundred kids before, like, hey, maybe we should not put plastic bags over kids' faces.
Yeah, maybe.
I like to call it survival of the fittest. Apocalypse was right.
Also, kind of like
Anyway.
those Tide Pod trends.
Oh,
Oh
God.
my God.
Natural selection.
Natural
Yeah.
selection, true
Edward.
that.
This looks
What
like
the
Jell-O.
hell?
I like.
I am just baffled by that.
Yeah.
Mom, can you give me some Jello?
Yeah. Here.
No,
bite
Mom,
into
they're all
this.
Tide.
Ugh.
Yeah,
God.
we went to an auction for our son's baseball thing, and I don't know why, but they were auctioning off like 60-something different groups of shit, and one of them had Tide Pods in it.
Oh no!
And the guy down the table won, and he said, "Oh look, it has Tide Pods." And I said, "Yeah, you didn't know you were betting on food too, did you?"
Oh God.
Oh, I don't get, I don't. We were supposed to have flying cards. Instead, we have fucking YouTube kids eating Tide Pods on camera. I would prefer the
Yeah.
flying cars. I
Yeah,
would take
me
a
too.
self-driving car at this point, like in Demolition Man.
You must understand, we are in the Bizarro 1985, therefore we get nothing.
Ugh.
Mm.
We got dudes like Biff running around. There you
That's
go.
yeah, pretty much with colanders on their head or whatever the fuck he was,
Colanders.
whatever that helmet
Yeah.
was that he had.
That
Crazy
was
Ellen.
on the colander was on
It's like Doc Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was on
totally.
Doc Brown's head.
oh,
Yeah,
I was gonna say it was also wasn't it on Ghostbusters too?
oh yeah,
Didn't they have a
yeah,
colander
he had,
on
that's what
Rick
Egon
Moranis'
put on.
head? Yeah.
The Keymaster. That's right.
Good old Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, Strafe, since you're talking, what have you been doing? Anything role play?
So roleplay wise, I of course have been chatting up Sib's Orsimer character, and you start off with the sweetness, then you put in a little arrogance. There will be some meanness, then you have to switch it up. Otherwise, they won't be interested and they leave. So this is the formula.
I just wish my rolls were better because I had that 120 where I came over the bar at him. Other
Yeah.
than that, I've rolled like below 5, and I'm like, what the crap?
I thought for sure that my team was going to get punched in the face, and I was looking forward to
Well,
it.
so did I. But yeah, it didn't happen because I rolled I think on that one I rolled a 1. And I was like, well, that's just crap.
Well, nonetheless,
1.
we've had that bit of fun RP. So it's poking at the orc. She's not used to kindness, therefore it makes her angry. We're waiting to see when she explodes.
That's what I
And
said. You
second
gotta keep. The only way you're gonna get over that is you just gotta keep beating her down until eventually she's just like, all right, I guess I'm okay looking. I guess I'm pretty. Because that's what she's like, I got tusks, I'm not pretty. And to which I say, that's what the paper bag is for, but still.
Your character did. It has.
Kenix says, oh
I
yeah.
was gonna say.
He said, oh yeah, she looks great from like, the neck down. Fully clothed.
Hey,
Fully clothed.
And fully clothed. Right, yeah.
Mm.
That's so awful.
That's hilarious.
What about you, Kishmas? Anything happening this week?
well, we had Sib's character's Neith. Is this pronounced Neith?
Nice.
Knife. Okay.
Mhm.
Nice trial of mercy. That went nice and smooth.
Yes.
Then we're gonna add another member to the Order of War soon. Austere's character.
That guy Laza.
That guy Laza is gonna join the Order of War.
Woo, that guy.
Woohoo!
Also, Raj forced him to not be a stick anymore and beef up a little bit because
Ooh.
Order
He is
of
a
War
sh-
don't accept no pussies.
He is a scrawny ass character.
He
is.
fucking-
Raj made him like 3 cuts of steak. He's like, "Yeah, eat them all. All right,
and don't throw up.
All right.
throw up. I'm gonna make you restart."
You get a T-shirt at the end. We
Right.
promise.
Eat the 72-ounce steak and all the fixings will give you a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I can't believe I ate for the ordination of war.
Other than that, just more personal RP with Neth and all that. Some development on Marina. I've really
Yeah.
been keeping a little low lately on guild events. It's just nothing really interesting for me to actually do yet.
Yeah, I've noticed you guys. I didn't know if you guys were just laying low there, or if maybe you two are decorating too. Because I noticed you've been at your house a lot.
Well, I've been coming up with new ideas for the house. Like Raj made a panic room type thing, like a secret
Yeah.
room that uses with magic and all that. Just in case.
in case they're ever attacked.
That's his excuse. Is, you know, just in case we ever get fucking.
Which now
invaded.
guarantees that you got to do that role play just because you built it. You know, if you
Exactly.
built it, you will role play in it. That's
Exactly.
the rule, I think.
You build it, they will come.
I've had a
Right.
few vague ideas about what I want to do, but I've quickly scrapped them. Like, seems a little too dumb, a little
Yeah.
too cliche.
Yeah, but sometimes that cliche, it's only really cliche when you're constantly, if you're like role playing kidnapped all the time or being constantly attacked at your house, that gets old.
Oh no, damsel in distress.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
if it happens
gets
like
old quick.
once a year, yeah, I
Right.
think you're safe. And I've known you now for over a year or so, and it's not happened yet. So, you know,
Still got
Hey.
that free pass.
that's right. And you could do the whole Liam Neeson thing if something happens, you know.
Exactly.
Or
I
go
got
have a set of skills.
certain set of skills.
That's right. Or go Bruce Willis on them.
Exactly. Exactly.
Which I got to say, that new show looks good. Death
Yeah,
Wish.
Death Wish. Yeah, with Bruce Willis. Yeah, that does look pretty
Mhm.
good. We saw the
So,
preview
Kish,
for
you
that.
built a safe space. Why?
'Cause
Why?
everybody needs a safe space.
because
Well, I
because
suppose they-
words hurt, Strafe.
Well,
Words
Exactly.
hurt, you fucking idiot.
Need a cup of
Yeah.
coffee and puppies. That's what I need.
Well, I have a can of man and a straw. Open the can, insert straw, suck it up.
Oh,
Uh,
all right, I'm gonna go leave. Bye. I'm triggered.
I'm kidding, bro.
This is
With an
so
awkward silence,
offensive.
like, how dare he say that? Oh my
Stop
god.
being a misogynist.
Well, you know, somebody's got to do it, I guess.
Yeah, you misogynist.
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 I am the misogynist from the order of M.
I need a massage.
That does sound
You
good.
unlock, we have massage.
You guys are talking about misogynist, right?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure it's not spelled the same, but because I want one, we're gonna go with yes.
Oh, gosh.
Yes.
I got a lot of tension in my shoulders, because I'm married.
oh.
You
and
better
I get
tread very
tension in my
carefully, sir.
shoulders.
Yes, I take it back. He needs to take that can of man because it's about to be taken from him, beaten in the face with him by Sibs.
I would throw something at him, but I'd probably miss and
You'd probably turn the
thing,
whole
and
show
then I'd be
off.
mad. Yeah. So,
And then I'd
I'll-
have
I'll
to
beat
roll a
him later.
d20 and come up over the table. That's right. Domestic
beat-
violence. It's hilarious.
I'll beat him later.
No, it's
See
not.
him later.
She beats me because she loves me.
I do.
She's
battered
the Tina
husband
to my
syndrome?
Ike.
Hey, rough love is best love.
That's right.
That's right.
There is that.
Yeah, put this in your mouth. Remember the secret word is banana.
Ah.
So, as for me, I've actually been laying mostly out of the game. I realized Monday when we were doing something, I was getting irritated with stuff because it was not stuff I really like, and I'm like,
Right.
I shouldn't be getting this annoyed. So I've kind of had other things I want to play. I've been playing the Dragon Ball Fighters. I've been playing Prey.
How is that,
and-
by the way?
Oh, dude, I love it. It's even for a Dragon Ball aside, it's a fucking great fighting game. Which tomorrow we're going to be streaming me beating the crap out of one of our listeners, David
Ooh.
R. Haley, who challenged me. Remember, I said that, but we're going to be doing that tomorrow. I think about 7 Central Time, if I remember.
Yeah, he
right.
just commented in the chat on.
Yeah.
He said because he's nervous about our fight
About to get
tomorrow.
juicy.
Oh, he
He
should.
just-
He
just
should
threw
be
down
nervous.
in your face, dude.
Yeah. Well, he should be nervous because, yeah, it's gonna be sad. It's gonna be like an episode of Dragon
know,
Ball.
We're all gonna have to tune into this now. Just
So we'll have
Yep.
5 episodes of filler and then like 1 episode.
Right,
of
we're gonna
Who's
do
in
a lot
Arm,
of
and then 5 more episodes
filler. David and I it's gonna be only 5 minutes, but it's gonna go over the course of probably 8.5 hours
Oh,
of us just going ah, like that,
Yeah.
and
Can we stop? We can stop that now.
and then he could go Kakarot, and I'll be like Goku, and wait, there's the same person, Vegeta, and then
so
Yamcha will die.
So if you're not
Unfortunately.
watching the Super Bowl tomorrow, you can jump in and watch this.
Yeah,
I'll totally
Uh,
watch that. It was
So
Mhm.
conflicted because
yeah.
I love football. I love football. I also like game.
foosball.
My foosball's not the devil.
But yeah, and just so we can be clear, who is in the Super Bowl tomorrow?
A bowl of shit and a bowl of shit.
Yep.
It's the Patriots and the Eagles.
and the Philadelphia Football Eagles, which not the what was it you said, Sib? The Vikings?
No, I never said that.
The Vikings,
I never
right?
said that.
No, the Vikings.
No, I said the Patriots and the Eagles.
Yeah, the Vikings are going against the Cubs tomorrow. Isn't that what you had said?
The Cubs.
The Bears versus the Bulls.
No, I thought it was the Red Wings.
The Red Wings, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Red Wings versus the Vikings.
Okay.
It's
we're
the
good.
it's
I thought it was
got
Manchester United, but I'm just me.
Oh, snap.
Manchester United. Man, yeah. So if you guys, I'm not a big football guy. I only watch the commercials, and with the invent of the internet, I no longer need to watch the stupid game to see the commercials.
Yep.
And I can skip the annoying stupid ones, and I don't have to see whatever idiots do in the halftime show because I don't care. Who is doing the halftime show? Because now I actually am wondering.
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake.
Wait,
not
they brought-
Janet Jackson. Not Janet Jackson again, because you happened last time.
Okay. That explains the tweet I saw when he says for 100,000 retweets, I'll pull out someone's titty. That explains why he tweeted that now. Because
I
he's
wonder
gonna
if
be
he'll
there.
have any of those. What is it called? Wardrobe malfunctions.
Wardrobe malfunctions.
Those are the best part.
His dick will just flop out right in the middle of it. Well, Janet wasn't here. This is all I got. Or he'll show his nipple. I don't know. It doesn't make any damn sense to me.
It doesn't.
But no, with me, I was getting irritated. I got other stuff I wanted to play, and I was like, I shouldn't be getting irritated with somebody doing events and role play. And even if I think it's not my favorite type to be asked questions that everybody can just Google, doesn't really do much for me. But I was like, you know what, I need to go play some other stuff because I shouldn't be getting irritated about it.
You are not alone in that level of irritation in RP. I believe me and Jazz were experiencing some of that the other night. But I do my best to counter it by just being a troll on my Khajiit. And there you go.
Was it last night? Because I know Thursday night I didn't think anybody
was.
No, it was Friday night. It was Friday
Oh,
night.
okay.
Yeah, somebody was passed out. Yeah.
I had a bad allergy night, so I wasn't
allergies.
eating.
We'll go with that. Not drinking at 12:30 in the afternoon.
Oh my God, she is so
Secret.
gonna beat you one of these
Secret,
days. You know
Sid.
that, right?
I never knew. Suddenly things are so clear.
Yeah, day drinking. It's not just for people that are lonely. But it doesn't hurt.
This coming from the one that actually drinks.
Totally.
Yeah.
Hey, if I win the lottery, I am going to have a mini bar and I will be constantly plastered. It's not it's not a problem if you know exactly how you're doing it.
Facts.
That's right.
Facts for sure.
And I'm not a quitter, so none of that AA garbage for me.
You don't have a drinking problem. You have problems, so you drink.
Right, exactly. As Homer Simpson, the great and wonderful sage of our time, once said, alcohol, the problem and solution to all of life's problems. Or the cause and solution to all of life's problems. Yeah. Something like that. So, anyway, yeah, I needed to stay away and keep from being an asshole. Take my own advice and not do that. And go with that. So, with that, I think that's all of us. I didn't skip anyone, did I?
I think you got us all.
No, I believe something got all of us.
All right.
You got us all.
I took it all in. That's right. So, with that, hey, Strafe, I think I'm picking your voice is picking up from your earphones again. I can hear myself through you.
I will mute myself.
That's just creepy.
You're like a seashell. I can hear myself inside you. But of course, now there's no real point in you being muted because we're gonna have to do our advertisement, which you are a part of.
He tells me to mute. He tells me not to mute. He doesn't know what he wants me to do.
I'm just saying, this is
very
what it's
demanding. See, this is what I have to live
This
with.
is what it's like being married to me. I just wanted to give you a
Mm.
moment to figure it out. It's fantastic, isn't it?
Welcome to my world.
5 minutes of my
This
life.
is what you're missing out on by not being married, buddy. This constant, continual level of hell.
You trying to couch surf tonight, sir?
Well, I was
Straight up
talking
trying
about
to
for
serve it.
her, not for me. I'm fucking fantastic. She made dinner tonight. I got a good side of it. She's the one stuck with me. It's like that. What was that to Watchmen? You're not stuck. I'm not stuck in here with you. You're stuck in here with me. Yeah.
Oh, heaven help us.
Yeah. So anyway, I guess we should probably go ahead and do our advertisement if everybody's ready.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and hear a word from our sponsor. That'd be your turn to talk, Strafay, your first line.
I was waiting for the emotional music, but very well.
I don't have any emotional music because you couldn't hear it anyway. What do you want, a professional level show? This is like basement level.
Dad,
like
you never
Wayne's
listened.
World.
Just let me speak for once.
Oh, okay, go
Let
ahead.
me get Mom in the room.
Go ahead. I'll wait.
Mom, Dad, I don't know how to tell you this.
Just be honest, sweetie. We'll love you no matter what you say or do.
Well, you might have noticed I'm a bit different. I'm not like other kids my age. I like things that other kids aren't interested in. I sometimes look at things a little differently than normal. And well, I'm sure you've noticed my close friends are a little different too. I'm so nervous, I just going to say it. Mom, Dad, I'm a role player. I've been role playing online for other people. I'm a high elf mage and I'm proud of it. Whew. Oh, I feel better.
No, not my son. No. So, no. Okay, so all those times you were in your room with the door closed, you were role playing?
Yeah, I was role playing, Dad.
Oh, I thought you were in there masturbating like a normal teenager. Oh, or looking at gay porn, something people do, not role playing. You know what? You know what, woman? This is your fault. You know that? She gets this shit from your side of the family.
Don't you pin this on me. My family had actors in it, not role players. What about you? Your brother's a Civil War reenactor. He probably learned it from him.
Oh, you don't. Oh, bitch! Don't you be bringing Teddy into this. This is your fault. You know what? Where did we go wrong? You know, did we not show you enough love? Did we not hug you enough? Did we not give you everything you wanted? Did you eat paint chips that we caught you eating as a baby? Is that it? Or, you know, maybe it was the power lines we lived under for all those years. You know, I knew those things had lead in them. Disturbing, isn't it? Scenes like this play out every day across the world. Children turning to roleplay. They can learn it anywhere. Strangers, friends, even family. It's never too late to get help. Talk to your kids about the dangers of roleplay today. If you need help talking to them or information on how to cure roleplay, please call our toll-free number at the bottom of the screen. You too can prevent roleplay before it's too late. Yeah. Poor kid.
A pain, I'm sure a lot of us know well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which brings us to our main topic. How the hell do you tell people that you know and your family what the fuck it is you do all the time in your spare time? I mean, they get you going to sports and like painting your body in the colors of your team. That everybody understands. But saying like, yeah, in a digital world, I pretend to be a wizard or an orc or an elf or a human something rather that's fantasy related.
It depends on your friends involved.
Right. Typically, the older family members, they look at you like you're like you've just come out of the closet and it's 1948. You know, it doesn't go over well. But yeah, it definitely depends on the type of people that you've got around you. Anybody else? I know Jazz has and Sib have both definitely had fun trying to explain this one to people.
Yeah, I've talked to my mom about it quite a bit.
when I first started, she was curious what I was doing, and I had to explain it and talk to her about it. But it did eventually get to the point where I just stopped trying.
Yeah.
Just keep trying. One day.
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
Lost cause then. Abandoned
Off.
ship.
Everybody leave. But yeah, so I don't know. Is anybody else out there? Yeah, if you've ever tried to explain it to us and you got kind of a funny story trying to do it, you just let us know in chat, or you can call us up on our Discord channel and go to the caller waiting room. We'd like to hear from you as well. But so sorry. I keep hearing myself through Stray's thing, and I don't know how we're gonna have to figure out how to fix that. I know we might have to go push. He might have to go push to talk to stop that from happening until we get it straightened out and we figure out what headset he's using. Sorry, Stray. I love you, brother. It's just I keep hearing myself talking. It's like I don't know what I'm doing.
All good, man. All good. I will just mute myself.
Yeah, that's right. You show up and we don't want to hear from you. Wait, no, shit.
That's how it goes.
That's not it. No. Yeah, if you want, do what Kishmas does. Put yourself on push to talk. That might help a little bit.
Yeah, push to talk should fix it at least initially while we figure out what's going on.
Yeah. So it can. Sorry, Sib. What have you? I know you've tried to explain it to your mom. How's that gone over with you?
I know. She likes to play like video or games like what are they though? Seek and find ones where they give you like so many objects and you got to find them. And she likes to get on there and play like video poker or just little, I don't know what you call them, kind of games.
Yeah, but at least she likes games. Because like my mom is against anything on the computer that isn't like logical. Computers are not toys, and she refuses to even use her phone to play games.
See, and my mom, she's totally cool with games, but whenever I tried
to
Pokemon
Go with us and the kids, shit,
we would go drive around for Pokemon Go with her.
I think part of the problem is because this idea that you're playing pretend, and so they're like, you need to grow up. And I've tried explaining it as theater, that it's like improv theater. Which had a better reception with some of my other family members because they're like, oh, well, that'd be kind of cool. And it's like, well, that's what I'm doing, essentially, is improv.
Yeah.
Oh, well, then they took it a lot better. And I really think that's kind of what ever since then, I've kind of used that instead.
I know. I explained it to her that I get on here with many other people and we act like somebody else, like I've tried to explain it to her in detail because she's like, oh, I think I might like that, and I'm like, okay, let me explain to you what's going on, then you can try to decide if you'd like something like that. And whenever I finally got into explaining it, it was like a glazed look on her face. She's like, I don't understand. And I'm like, it's okay, Mom. I said, I would not have understood either until I tried it. And then, because when me and Ashton first got together, and he was trying to tell me about this, because I played console games, and never in my wildest dreams would I have been able to think of something like this, like going into ESO. And so I totally understood whenever she would just kind of blanked out on me. And I was like, you really, if you were interested in it, you would have to actually try it. But that's where it stopped. She's like, nah, I'm good. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Not to mention, she doesn't have a computer strong enough.
I was going to say her Matchbox of a computer, I don't think runs much more than the gambling ones that she likes to play on there.
Yeah.
Or those.
It
Windows XP on it.
was funny trying to explain to her. And now she knows we do this podcast. And I know she's curious about it. And she's always like, I need to listen to it. And I'm like, I don't think you do. I said, I really don't think you do. I don't think you would enjoy it. And she's like, you never know. And I'm like, I love you to death, but no. So, yeah. she's just funny, but that was my experience trying to explain it to somebody. I know I can talk to our kids about it because they've both had experience in doing this, but other than that, I haven't told anybody else besides her, and it was just kind of funny.
And see, telling my kids wasn't hard because they do role play with their friends. Of course, it's over voice and it's weird, but I explained that it's a little more involved in the stuff that they do, but they were totally cool about it and were like, "That's awesome, Mom. It's like theater." And I was like, "Yes, exactly. It's like theater. Very good. It's just like we pretend and we put on costumes and we play pretend. There you go. That's what it is."
Yeah, when it all boils down, it's basically virtual cosplay.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's virtual cosplay. That's exactly what it is. And I think as I've gotten better at explaining it to people, like now I'm no longer in the closet, so to speak, at work. People know I do this. I've told people this, and they don't look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, "That's actually kind of interesting." And they'd be like, "I'd be so embarrassed. I could never do that."
Yeah, which
that's kind of the opposite of me because, like, at work, people are like, "Oh, you game? I didn't know." I'm like, what? How come you didn't notice this?
I work at a Best Buy. I mean, like, that's one of the first steps to like
first sign.
What would you? That's like being surprised. Wait a minute, you play video games, but you work at GameStop.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
yeah, imagine that.
Yeah. I also like cartoons and animes and TV shows. What?
Not anime.
Well, you know what I mean. In general, everybody likes that stuff.
I got kind of lucky. My mom was already a Trekkie. She's already super nerd. So she had these misgivings about idiot ideas about D&D from back in the day. And then we started playing it. And she kept cruising in, like, checking us out because she's a super nerd anyway. And I knew the way I got her was I had my friend DM Star Trek. She was there, and she's been hooked ever since. We got her to ask EverQuest 2 as Gormal's mother, and it just got worse from there.
Yeah, that's what we say in roleplay. Play to your audience, and you want to get somebody hooked on something. There's a Trekkie, because there's a lot of Trekkie ones out there, aren't there? Ouch.
There are, and my dad would just look at me and be like, "Get your head out of your ass, boy," and like that would be the end of that.
Right.
My mom, however, she's a nerd. She understands.
Yeah. Yeah, your dad was kind of the outdoorsy manly man going thing. All right, good talk.
Bye.
He is. He's also in prison, so I can't really talk to him too much.
Okay. Well,
it's
that
cool.
kind of limits the ability to have that conversation.
That does, but that does also lend credence to the "get your head out of your ass" kind of mentality. If that's tend to go hand in hand.
I get that.
This is really uncomfortable for me now.
Not appropriate.
I didn't know that. Yeah, really not.
All good though. Yeah, no, she has a good time with it now. Now she trolls me. Hey, are you gonna DM Fallout? And I'm like, Mom, you love Fallout this much? She's like, I love it when you DM it. And it's like, fine.
Is there actually is there something for Fallout for that? There's like rule book or something, or is it like a made up fan thing on that?
I'm pretty sure there's an Elder Scrolls made up one too. I think.
Yeah, just the basic rules that just uses the lore and shit.
Oh, it kind of sucks.
There is, but I just literally adopted the rule set from Fallout 3, and it works pretty good on pen and paper, which leads me to believe that Bethesda probably turned this into a functioning pen and paper game before they actually turn it into their game.
Yeah, that makes sense. But that's pretty cool. I mean, that's definitely one way. I don't know with my family if I would ever have luck getting anybody to even remotely touch that. Like, my mom knows I've been playing video games since she bought me a Nintendo back in, like 85, I think was when I got mine. But she's never been video games. She's never been a gamer. It's just not going to happen. And, my dad, he's pretty much the same way. Like, my real dad, my stepdad is he's dead. So he's definitely not playing any video games. Now I'm sad. And now I'm over it. It's been years. But yeah, neither one of my parents or really almost anybody in my family that's like that. I've got a lot of cousins that are younger. They play video games. They get that stuff. But that's like Jazz's kids with the younger generations.
Yeah.
They understand that stuff, but like
Oh,
explaining
totally rad.
Yeah, totally, that's like spectacular.
I know my son's friends know I do the podcast, and they're all just like, "Wow, your mom is so cool." And I'm like, "Oh God, I'm the cool mother."
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but like, trying to explain it to people like we work with and stuff like that, especially at the post office, it's a lot of it's a mix of people our age or a little younger, but a lot of the older ones. It's like I was telling somebody just about the podcast and what it was about, and she was interested, but she at least comes from her husband. She doesn't give a crap about video games, but her husband does. He loves them, and he's kind of older, and he just bought like a $2,000 something Alienware computer, and I was
Oh,
like,
nice.
yeah.
Who is that?
Deborah next to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Her husband's totally a total nerd. She won't go see any like Star Wars or anything like that, but him and their son-in-law will always go and see them like the first weekend and stuff like that. But she's happy because she doesn't have to get drug along with them because there's somebody else to see it with them. So she at least knows somewhat. But yeah, it is always weird. I actually do get pretty, like here, I know how we all come off, and we're sitting in front of a fucking microphone talking about this stuff, but we're talking about it to you guys who are also just like us.
Yeah.
You understand what we're doing and why we do it. I know it's easy to do that, to talk to people. It's like talking politics with people that think just like you. It's really easy to do that. A lot harder to talk about people that might not agree with you. Gets a little uncomfortable at times.
To Kish's point, the best way I can explain it, and how I've explained to my friends, then hey, let's go to the Ren Fair. Yeah, you go to the Renaissance Fair, and they show up with you, and you're in full costume. They're like, "Oh, are you supposed to dress up?" I'm like, "No, it's just something fun I do." And then they're like, "Okay, cool." Now either they're gonna think that's freaking cool, and they want to build an outfit, or they're gonna think, "Dude, Strafe's off his rocker. Dude,
Yeah.
He dressed up like his elf dude, and oh my goodness, I couldn't wait to get out of there."
You need to get out of your mom's basement. That kind of, yeah. It's the hey, that's really neat. Even if they may not want to do it themselves, or it's the total like 1980s, 1970s jock of like nerd. It really only goes one way or the other. They either think it's cool or they're just like, you're a fucking idiot.
But it can be kind of isolating if you don't know anybody that does. Like my kids, they all play games and they role play and they do all of this stuff, and I'm cool with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have all my friends that are cool with it. But at school, where they go to school, we live in a very semi-backward area, and nobody does that sort of thing anywhere. So they are very isolated.
It's all high school football and stuff like that kind of a thing.
And religion and everything. And so they're all kind of, they want to switch schools, and we've been discussing it. And I think on some level it's funny that they want to switch to Marshalltown.
Matter?
Yeah, because in Marshalltown it's a slightly bigger place.
Oh, okay.
And so they go to the mall and they'll bump into somebody who games, and they'll just start talking about it randomly. So it's I think it's just because where I live is such a tiny place. And it's literally the ball sack of Iowa. It's nice people live here, but
Iowa looks like a ball sack in general.
Right,
so.
True. It's that you're the bottom of the ball sack of Iowa.
Yeah, but this area right here where I live was the last place to get high-speed internet. Literally, I don't have it yet. This is the last place that got computers. Many people here have computers that are 15 years old and have no problem with that. Email only really became a thing here about 5-6 years ago. So you were about 10-15 years behind even the most behind places. So it's a challenge when you have kids who are technology friendly, and even the school doesn't really do much with computers.
Sing it with me, everybody. do 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 do.
And they're trying, but I mean, there's just no interest with with the majority of the population are like, no, we don't need those old fangled things. Who cares? Or you have people who use them at work.
All I
They don't
need is
have one at
Oregon
home.
Trail. What else is there?
Yeah.
Gonna die of dysentery.
I got gonorrhea.
Oh, jeez.
I don't think that's a
So,
disease in
it's
Oregon
just-
Trail,
Never
but it
could.
should be.
It's very backward here in many ways because people may use computers at work, but they don't have one at home. And I would say at least half, if not more, of the people that live here don't have a computer at home. Or if they do, they have a really old one, or they have it on their phone, and that's it.
That's terrifying. I honestly don't know how those people live.
And it's really bizarre to me because
It's not really bizarre. I find that when I go on a hunting trip or a camping trip, I feel great when I don't have all this technology hanging on me. Now, while I'm working and doing the hamster wheel, this is great because I get to see all you folks and
Yeah.
pretend to be whatever. But yeah,
Yeah, well, and it's
a mixed bag.
Yeah, it's definitely, like she's, it is weird. It's weird. It's weird for me too, just because, like, I'm not exactly in a big city, but we're outside of Tulsa, which, but it's suburbia. It's everything we have here. It's the same. It's the same boring shit you have everywhere else. There's, there's the Applebee's and the Best Buys and the Targets and
Hey.
all. What?
What?
Hey, Best Buy is
Oh, hey.
fantastic to go and see what the new TV is that you want to order offline. I'm just saying, it's really useful.
The ones that are $3,000. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I totally want to get a 4K HDR TV, but I'm
Remember when
waiting for the
3D
price.
TVs were a thing?
I have one. I have an
Oh, you
80-inch
do?
Vizio 3D TV. It actually works really well too. It's just what?
That was like the shortest fad I've ever seen. in
Boy,
Best
that
Buy.
really did. Yeah, but even in the movie
It's like a
theaters,
month, then there's like no 3D TVs.
No, they don't bother with it now. And even though with the 4K, it'd probably look really good.
Probably.
It'd probably look awesome. But even in movie theaters, they stopped doing that shit. So, I don't know. I liked it. I thought the technology was actually pretty not bad as long as it was shot that way, like Avatar. You think the new Avatar movies are going to be shot like that?
I don't know.
Because I mean, that movie is what made that whole that's what started that 3D movie and TV revolution for what was that 4 or 5 year period. And now if he's making like 18 others, like they say he is he going to shoot all those in 3D? Because I'd see those in 3D, but I haven't watched. We haven't paid for a 3D movie in forever. It's just not worth the hassle, honestly.
3D is just a hassle on my eyes. That's the big thing.
Well, and
Yeah.
the converted ones are often done horribly too. Like, what was that one? The Superman movie that was done. They just converted it, and it was like, well, that was shit. That was horrible. You guys did a terrible job.
Yeah, I don't think conversion really works.
No.
We
You
at
either,
Best Buy
you
call
either do
upscaling.
it that way, or you either do it or you don't. It's not
What was that?
something you're going to do
What was that?
halfway.
That space one with Sandra Bullock. That was shot that way.
Gravity?
Gravity. That was fucking awesome in 3D, especially when
But it was like shot that way, wasn't it?
It was shot that way, and also because it was in space too. And when the space station started falling apart, all the little debris and it had an actual, other than like the cheesy like Shark Boy and Lava Girl where something was thrown directly at your face. Like, it was passive in the way it was 3-dimensional, and it really added to it. That was cool. But yeah, man, that's now 4K HDR is where it's at.
Even though that movie's plot was trash.
What? No, it was.
I didn't like that movie at
No,
all.
it was-
I thought it was garbage.
It was fun. It was a popcorn movie to me. I thought it was a lot of fun.
I liked it.
Well, you're allowed to. Just because Kishmas doesn't like it doesn't mean you
The
can't.
thoughts and opinions are just that.
Right.
I'm not IMDb or
Wait a minute. If Kishmas didn't like it, nobody could like it.
But I'm the nice one. I have to agree with people.
You're the nice one. Yeah, maybe on air. Ooh, damn.
Pretty brutal, dude. That couch is gonna be waiting for you.
Oh, it's such a comfortable couch, though. I really at times I just
He
need to
doesn't
be
need the
alone.
couch. He's got his
I got my
recliner.
I
Yeah.
was passed
He
out on
sleeps in that
before
all the
show.
time.
Snoring away.
Got his old man heating pad on his butt.
That's right.
It's all good.
Hey,
My
man.
Well, that reminds me. Yeah, how is your tailbone doing? Is it better?
It's bruised still. It doesn't hurt as bad, but if I flex my mighty buttocks, it does. I do feel it.
Spousal abuse is a real thing, as we're hearing
Yeah.
tonight.
Well, if she would stop ass punching me, she's just like, do the fucking laundry.
Let me get my little violin out for you.
And then she just punches me in the butt over and over. And then she gives me an Indian burn, and I tell her that's not that's cultural appropriation. You can't burn Indians anymore.
Oh my god.
So you're essentially telling us you're like the father figure from Stranger Things asleep on the chair while his wife is like reading romance novels.
Right? Yeah, I love that. I love that dad. When everyone gets up from the table and he's just like, "What'd I do?" And he just keeps eating. He doesn't even do anything. But all right. So yeah, one thing here too is, so if you're gonna try to tell people about it, I mean, given this isn't like a how to talk to people, you know, we all tell our family. It's mostly this is just for fun and shits and giggles, but definitely like don't be ashamed of it. I mean, it can be embarrassing, like Jazz was saying about like, oh, that's neat, but I don't. You know, I'd be so embarrassed. I think at one point, especially for us older folks, you kind of grew into it, and it was a little embarrassing. You know, you're kind of like you're definitely shy or bashful about it. So it, you know.
Well, it's also good to look at it from a different perspective, which I've had to help a couple people kind of figure out how to talk to their friends and family because they're into it and their family has no idea. And then they're like, they don't know this means a lot. Cosplay, for example, one of my friends is really into cosplay. And nobody knows why she goes to these conventions. And I do mean nobody. So it's her thing she does. She runs off and she does it and nobody knows where she is. I don't think it's very safe.
No, that's actually not very. That's actually
it's not
very safe at all.
No, and I'm like, that's not safe. Your family needs to know where you are. You don't leave a forwarding number, anything. You need to be honest with them.
Is it a he or she?
It's a she.
So if they're doing any, even like, yeah, that's definitely even more.
And she's a very beautiful woman, so she's
definitely even worse than now. That
so
that
you know she goes and she dresses up. And, yeah, they are. And so we had a long talk about it. She finally told her mom. Not anybody else, but just her mom. And she explained it the way that I told her, and her mom was totally cool with it. She was floored. Yeah. But I was like, you know, people come home and they flip on the television and they eat in front of the television and they watch their stories and, you know, they're totally into it. You have the guy that watches football and paints himself up, and you're not doing anything.
People that sit there and watch you know, 400 or 500 rounds of you know, laps of NASCAR and.
Right.
You know, and
there's
I get
no
it.
Difference.
I understand the, you know, I personally would rather I don't, but I like driving. I would love to drive a NASCAR. I wouldn't love to watch it.
There he goes around that left turn again.
Yeah, I don't get it, but I also know that you know, I come home and I do my stuff and I'm the mom and I do everything that I'm supposed to do, and then once the kids are taken care of and life is taken care of, I sit down in front of my computer and I play my games. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's no different than turning on the TV and watching NCIS or whatever all night.
Yeah, for the reruns of
think about
everything. All
think about it. Actors are doing the same thing we are.
Yes, there's no difference. It's just theater online. And so once she explained that to her mom, I was like, you know, that's really true. Your dad has watched the same 6 shows. He gets on, you know, watches the news, and then he watches all this other stuff. And he's done it for years and years and years. And what does he do? He comes home from his work. He strips out of his uniform. He sits down, and that's what he does. She brings him his dinner. They sit down in front of the TV and they watch shows. She was like, I guess there's really no difference.
No, I mean, what else? Yeah,
right. So I think I've decided that that's what I'm going to suggest to people to do, is that to just describe it that way.
Yeah.
So that you are simply explaining that you do something that everybody else does. It's
just a little more interactive.
Right. You have interactive or my mom was like, is it porn? I'm like, well, it's interactive porn.
Hey.
I suppose.
Oh my. Well,
and Death sells the dark side of it.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny it.
I don't see it as a dark side, though. To me, it's just RP. That's
Oh,
all it
Kish,
is.
You're so young. Keep role playing.
I mean, it's like there's this meme or meme that meme.
What?
I guess it's supposed to
What?
say. Shut up. I used to call it meme. I had no idea. So
Call it
I'm
Mimi
so-
again, I'll kick you.
I did it at first too. Before I ever heard anybody say it, I just saw it when they first
Yeah.
started calling it.
I thought
a
it was
meme.
meme. I really did for years. I had no idea because I'd never heard anybody say it. So when they finally said meme, I was like, oh, what? Oh, I guess it is meme, isn't it? Like phonetically. I just assumed that because they can't type worth a damn, that they also didn't speak phonetically. So
Yeah.
it just never occurred to me that they would actually say it the way it looks. But anyway, there was this one that it has this pirate woman with big boobs and a sword and a parrot, and then she's got an octopus with his arms around her and all this other. It's a really funny picture, and it says "Our peers, RP." It's what we do, and some of it's just really strange porn or something like that. And it was hilarious because it was true. A lot of it's porn, really strange porn too. That was it. A lot of it's porn, really strange porn too. And I really thought that was really strange porn. But,
That is
you
so
know,
funny.
hey, why not, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Now I want to know how strange a porn is this?
Yeah,
Well,
my
Ever
mom was
heard
like-
of the Kraken?
That's right.
Good Lord.
Release
Okay, I'm
the
good.
Kraken.
I'm good. I'm good.
But yeah, we had a caller on there. David R. Haley called in, but he disappeared because he's a coward, just like he'll be when I fight him in Dragon Ball Fighters. He will be running away
Ooh.
constantly.
Yeah, take that, David.
And yeah, I don't know. I'm sure whatever it was probably brilliant and worth hearing, but I guess we'll never know because
Mhm.
You should totally come back.
he
Oh, there he is.
abandoned- Oh, look, there
There
he
he
is.
is.
Oh,
That'd be
that's-
fighting words.
That's right. All right. So, without further ado, David R. Haley, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Hold on,
Mhm.
let me change all this out because I hear double right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna need to turn down your radio in the background, sir. If you can't hear us both at the same time, it's calling a radio show here.
Good thing I have headphones on.
That's
I
right.
don't want you guys to hear yourselves. So
Yeah, thanks for calling 85.9 The Big Cheese, where we give away a phrase that pays on the hour every 4 hours.
listen to that for like 24 hours straight. Dude. Keep doing that, please.
No. What's up, David? How's it going, man?
Man, I'm so pumped for tomorrow.
I know,
But I wanted to
right?
chime in on actually the topic you guys were talking about with being open with what we do with family members, friends, and stuff like that. I was really hoping to kind of chime in on that.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Shoot.
Like my wife knows a little bit about it. She's not like into what it is, but she's like respects the boundaries of it. She's like, oh yeah, go ahead, go play and do your thing. I'm like, okay. And then like I'll talk about it later, and she'd be like, okay, that's interesting.
That's
And
great.
it's-
So did you do the dishes?
Yeah. Yeah, kind of actually that's how where it goes. Like, well, did you can you
Did you
you
take
mow
out the
lawn?
trash?
Yep. So it's
Did you
not
get
for
the garage
everybody.
clean? Did you get the garage clean? Is the garage
No, it's-
cleaned?
I'm waiting for her to finish her spot, her area, so I can actually sweep the rest.
Was
of
that her in the
pipes.
picture that I saw earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, she's going to be there all day if she's going to keep looking through every picture that she
She's
finds.
going through all her college stuff right now. It's gonna take forever.
I thought that, I was like, I recognized that cross-leg, empty, kind of vacant look from the behind as she was staring at what looked like pictures. And I was like, oh,
I
poor
finished
guy, you're gonna be
everything
there
I
all
did.
night.
Yeah, I finished everything I was doing, and I was like looking over. I'm like, oh god.
And she's through
Oh,
half a box. All right. She got
Yeah,
through
yeah,
college
like
years.
11 more to go. It's
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, no, that's definitely. Have you ever had to try to explain it to like any other family member? It's usually it's easier, a little easier with spouses because they can at least see what you're doing, and like you could be like, "See, this is my character," and see these people over here, they're actual people. It's not like another video game,
Yeah, or friends even who like because I come out of a first person shooter kind of realm of things. I was really big on that probably in my teens and stuff like that. And then I have friends that are still kind of around and they're like, oh, you're MMO RPG again. Okay. Do you like your grinding? I'm like, I don't only grind. I don't farm and stuff. I RP, you know? And they're like, what? I'm like, go ahead and
What
just
is
keep.
RP?
Yeah. keep up with all that sniping and Call of Duty crap that I absolutely hate. So
fucking
360 no scope YY fakies, you know?
Yeah, and hacking, whatever. So yeah.
Hey, PUBG is a lot of fun though. I will give that.
I haven't tried that yet.
It's good. It's a good time. It's different. It's definitely different because there's only going to be one winner. Yeah, the other 900 or 98 of you are all going to be fucking losers.
Man, I gotta look into that. I've watched my brother-in-law do it, and I was it was all beta, but I haven't seen what the release is now. So
yeah, it runs much better now, and it's a lot of fun. But it is definitely I know a lot of people really get deep into it. I know our son did for a while. He got a little bored with it. I play it off and on. I don't play it like religiously like some people do, but it's definitely good. Like, well, it depends. You could play anywhere from 30 seconds to 30 minutes. It just depends on how long you don't get shot.
Yeah.
Or if you're starting right off the bat, punched to death, which has happened to me. I made it 30 seconds. Landed right next to a guy, and he punched me in the head repeatedly, and I died.
Oh, did you stream that? Because I'd like to see that, actually.
No, I've never streamed any of that. But
damn it.
Unlike Dragon Ball, where it's going to basically be the exact same thing, but with you on the end of the frying pan.
Oh,
you can't stop. You can't stop it. You can't stop. Hey, everyone, just for the record, I didn't even start this. This guy right here, he's the one that's doing it right now.
Oh, yeah. No, he challenged me, but the trash talk, oh, yeah, I'm bringing it. Oh,
it's been going on for days, too.
Weeks. I've been doing this to him for weeks now.
Oh, my gosh. I am so sorry, David. I'm so sorry.
No, I know. You apologize for him so often on this show, but don't worry.
Really does. One of these days, she's going to learn it's not doing any good.
No.
Really.
Because every listener just shakes their head just
nice
like, yep.
I'm the nice one.
That's right.
Hey, I'm right there with you, Sib.
Yeah.
Everybody needs this. Every podcast needs one salty host, and they've got me and they've got Kishmas.
So now we got Stream.
Strafe can go back and forth.
Strafe is true neutral.
He's definitely neutral.
I'm
good.
the guy that peeks over the main bully's shoulder and says, "Yeah, what he said."
Yeah, you're Scott Fargus's toady little guy that just like from Christmas Story. Scott Fargus, he's got yellow eyes. God help me, yellow eyes. But yeah, so you ever try to explain it to your parents, David?
Don't think they know anything about that. They know about the voiceover stuff, which can
you
kind
do
of
a lot
relate
of.
to. Like,
yeah,
I do. I don't know if a lot
you
of
do
it.
a lot of it compared to anybody on this show. You do a lot of it.
Yeah,
you have a booth, dude. I saw a picture of a booth. That's enough.
Yeah. I got a good setup.
No,
and he finally admits the truth.
Yeah,
he's got a little booth with a microphone and all walls covered in the pointy little styrofoam foam
sound absorption. Yeah.
So, yeah. I want to hear it from you.
But they hope I can make money off of it, which I don't, because I just kind of do audio dramas and I do special oh, you need some stuff done for your animations. Sure, I'll help out with that. But I don't do anything for money yet. So I did one commercial in Austria for a friend of mine, and that was it. And they're like, "Oh, yay, our son's doing so well." I'm like, no, that was just for a friend. It's okay.
And it was in Austria. 8 people heard it.
Yeah. For
one
a
of
hotel
them was probably
commercial.
Schwarzenegger when he was visiting, but still,
you never know. But yeah. So, but no, I don't think I've never talked to him about it because I was way out of the house before I kind of got into that. I did D&D role play with, they knew that about that kind of stuff, but they're like, yeah.
Well, and you do play a Khajiit. I mean, I would be a little embarrassed too.
Leave the Khajiit alone! Leave them so alone, Dad. Leave them.
I love
Khajiit.
I love
I'll
Needle
skin
and
you.
Tea. This is
Buy
actually
a new cut.
funny enough. I think this is the first time I've ever talked to you. Actually, it's all been over type and stuff, hasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, all text, man.
yeah. So it'll be really fun tomorrow because when we do this, we're gonna try to do our horrible renditions of Dragon Ball Z voices. So that will be fun.
Yeah. And I've tried doing some of those, and man, it's quite a bit
they're
of
rough,
work.
aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna make each other look horrible. It's just
Yeah, it's fine.
I'll
take pictures. If I cough blood, I'll take pictures.
Well, after I beat the shit out of you, you probably will.
No!
Oh my gosh.
I had no comeback.
That's right.
Don't
Hey,
disappoint us, David. I've got my money
that's
on
what's
you.
sad is there's
don't
nobody.
disappoint us.
disappointing.
We've got 5 people here. Only one of them is rooting for me, and it's me.
Yes, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Man, I like a nice heel.
Everybody likes
Yeah.
the underdog. That's all I'm saying.
Hey man,
Oh,
who said I was rooting for the
then we'd be
underdog?
rooting for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we're-
I'm gonna. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna be the Patriots. You can be the Eagles, and we'll see.
Oh, don't talk football,
Oh,
please.
Oh god.
That's literally
Oh
all
my
I know about
gosh.
football right there. Is that
I
99% of the country hates the Patriots for some reason, and everyone else wants the Eagles to win just because they're not the Patriots. That's
Yeah,
all I
well,
know for the
yeah,
Super Bowl tomorrow.
because they've been on Super Bowl a couple times in a couple of years.
Is
So
that
you know.
were they the ones that were cheating with the inflatable balls? Oh wow, that sounds wrong.
We can move off this subject because this is not role play. So
Oh, it's all good.
I agree.
Actually,
we
there's-
talk about
Zach.
everything.
Yeah.
Right.
There's one thing I wanted to, since you're here, that one thing I've seen is that Skyrim mod that you've said you've done voiceover for.
I'm doing voiceover for it's Forgotten Love. Yeah. And I'm doing a main character Anu right now, and a couple other like add-ins for Sworn and stuff like that. So we're developing right now, and man, I've been sitting on meetings, and that's going to be really fun to have that.
Yeah,
come
I've
in.
seen some of the mods that that folks do for the modding community on that shit, and you know, I mean, come on, the part where they're using people that do voiceover, you know, for their mod that they're not getting paid to do. It's purely because they, you know, typically can't, I guess, unless they get on that store thing that they try every now and then.
Right.
You know, but the level of passion that people, you know, have for that, and then to reach out to people like you to try to be like, hey, you know, can you do some voiceover work for us? And like, here's a script that we've, you know, written out, and the shit looks good too when a lot of that comes out, because it take how long have they been doing something like that? It's been years, isn't
Those
it?
guys, yeah, at least with this development with Forgotten. It's actually Skyrim Romance. They've been doing that for I think 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
This is an addition to that chapter, so they've been doing it for a while. They've had a lot of. It's all been free. It's all been, you know, if you guys want to audition, here you go. In my case, not to go too far into me, but in my case, it was actually a friend of mine recommended to do it because I had no idea they actually existed. She's heard stuff I'd done. She's like, hey, yeah, you guys should do it. And we play Elder Scrolls together, Mackie. So I have a lot of praise to her to actually give me that insight that was going on, and I auditioned, and they took me right away, which is great. So
yeah, that's very cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, well, like I said, I like plugging anything anyone out there is actually doing that's better than what we do here. So,
oh, I'm blushing.
Well, I mean, it may be terrible. I've not heard it. It just looks really good from what I've seen. I'm sure the parts you do will be awful, but everything else will be fantastic.
Yeah. Can't wait to have you tell me otherwise later.
Yeah, I actually would. You know what? I don't know if I got Skyrim on the PC though.
Ask your daughter. Didn't she play the new Elder Scrolls?
Yeah,
Special
but it's
Edition?
on Xbox One. She's a console girl. Yeah,
I won't say anything to that.
Yeah, that's where she plays it at. But yeah, no. Well, if you got anything else, David, before I let you go.
No, but thanks for having me, and I wish I did more banter, but I was trying to keep it PC. So you know,
Why? That's boring.
Oh my gosh, you're talking to Ashley.
Thank
I know.
Have you not
I know.
heard the show before?
You do realize.
You never know.
You realize 2 weeks ago I was making fun of a guy with cerebral palsy, right? I think this show has definitely
true.
Yeah,
it's flown past the politically correct
Uh,
thing a long time ago. And I'll be
Like
honest,
flown on jetpacks.
like
Yeah,
right.
if you listen,
It's the
you
Elon
know what you're
Musk of
getting
fucking
into.
going past politically correct.
I know. I do listen for some reason I haven't learned yet, so
Yeah,
maybe
it's all right.
someday I will.
I understand. Everyone's got to get used to it. But and by the way, Smiley's an awesome guy. He really
Yes, he
Yeah,
is.
he was
but
great.
it's only his fault. If he hadn't been so cool, I definitely would have done it. Besides that, he has the finger of judgment, in which I'm sure is probably for some reason acting up right now.
Oh, I knew it was coming.
Hmm
He does
Anyway.
get as good as it gets. He's a good dude.
He really was.
Guys.
He really was. Appreciate
And
you
thank-
having it
thank-
on, David.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Thank you guys for having me, okay?
All
See
right,
ya.
have a good one.
Bye-bye.
So appreciate David R. Haley for calling in. I don't know if that is his actual R. I don't think he's. What's the little R with the circle stand for? Is that not trademark, but it's something like that? Registered?
That's copyright,
Is
registered
it cop-
copyright, isn't it?
Yeah,
Something
I
like
think.
that.
Something like that. Yeah, that's what his R is. It's a little registered copyright. So anyway, back to what we were saying. Yeah, just don't be ashamed of it. Stop thinking it's like you're not coming out and being like, all right, I don't know how to tell you this, but I really like dressing up like My Little Pony. Now that you can be embarrassed about that probably you keep to yourself. Unless you're at was it BronyCon or something like that? There you go.
Yeah,
Wait,
BronyCon.
that's a thing?
Yeah, that's a
Oh,
thing.
that's a thing.
No.
Oh, I can know.
Kind of like gnome porn. It's one of those things you can't unsee.
Wait, that's a
Did
thing?
you just say
That's a
gnome
thing?
porn?
Yeah.
Jesus, Jazz, I thought I had it bad. What part of the internet were you looking up?
You don't want to know. It was
Gnome
completely
porn.
an accident.
Now, everybody, take a minute.
Mm.
Gnome porn.
Okay, so
Earlier in
now
the conversation, she
Oh.
did mention strange porn. Jazz knows too much.
Yeah, I
Right.
do.
Now,
I
is
know
this
way
like-
too much.
is this like lawn gnomes
No.
or like
I
D&D style gnomes?
Okay,
Wild gnomes?
I will explain. On
Lawn gnome porn.
Firefox, I have my Google, and I do searches for images for various forum tags for people. And so I
Forum
will,
tags, sure.
Yeah, so I do forum tag research on various images, and I typed in gnome redhead girl,
Oh my
You
goodness.
just messed
And-
up.
and my son was standing next to me because I was,
of the
yes. and he's just I was too shocked to change, and finally I reached up and I closed the window, and he's like, "Mom," I'm like, "Oh no, we're not watching
No.
any more of that. You can go away now."
And later on his computer, red gnome redhead is typed in. Don't search that
Yeah.
browser history. You don't want to know how far that went. Wow, that's I mean, I
But see, the
guess
problem is also
Never touch a
that,
man's browser history.
yeah, that I because I search the internet so much that I have a very specific. I think I access things better because I've been on Google for so long, and I do so many searches for images.
I do. Yeah, I'm very
Get
good
very
at finding
specific.
what you want.
And then what I don't want, and I had forgotten that I had turned off safe search because I had been looking for a somewhat racy photograph for a friend who had wanted to find this particularly disturbing image. I won't go into it, and I promised I would find it for her.
Damn, now
so I had
I'm
turned
curious.
off. So I turned off safe search, and then I forgot to turn it back on. I usually have it on when I'm doing normal searches because my kids are in the room.
You never
or whatever.
know when they like
Yeah.
pop.
And the weirdest crap can show up on your browser. if you
Yeah,
don't have
it's
it
like
turned
that-
on.
There's that thing with like the like YouTube, the algorithm. I've heard. I think I was listening to Rooster Teeth, and I actually want to try it, but I was listening to the Rooster Teeth guys. If you don't know who Rooster Teeth is, Gavin of the Slow Mo guys is some of them. They also do Red versus Blue, the Ruby anime, as well as they do a ton of shit. Their podcast is hilarious, but they were talking about this effect on YouTube where because of the algorithm, you could type in something like the Mickey Mouse Club. All right. So, and you start out with Mickey Mouse Club, and then and then it finishes that, and it will autoplay the next thing.
Yeah.
But every
Careful!
now and then, there's one video or two that has nothing to do with that, and when it gets to that, then it goes to that starts to come up with those, and like those might be
Right.
nothing connected to it, and then there'll be one or two in that one, and by the time you wake up, like someone said they had fallen asleep with it playing on their TV, and it didn't do the like, are you still watching? It just kept going for like 8 hours straight, and by the time they woke up, it was like Kentucky Fried Midget porn or something like just fucking
Really bad.
ridiculous. It's just,
the dark side of the web.
right.
Yes.
And I think what it came down to was, I remember this now. They had said that it had come to people doing like cosplays of Elsa, cosplays of Disney princesses, and these folks were not Disney princesses, and they were not doing Disney princess things.
No.
But they had fallen to sleep watching like, hey, I'm watching the slow-mo guys, and they wake up to Disney princesses doing ungodly things with horses. Basic things.
Yeah,
Like-
it can get really bad.
Yeah.
And that's why my safe search is on almost all the time. But it wasn't that day, and I got quite a shock.
Yeah.
Because I was honestly looking for gnomes, but I forgot to type EQ2 and gnome. So I was trying to get pictures of EQ2 gnomes because I can get screenshots for people that I then use in
What
the
I want to know
tags.
is, after hearing this, how many people are going to search redheaded
I know,
gnomes
right?
just to see like what the fuck you're
I've
talking
already
about.
done it.
Google Analytics is already blowing up.
That's right. There's a sudden
So-
increase in redheaded gnome
Yeah.
searches. I don't know what's
Yeah,
going on.
it was not pretty. It was really bad.
Oh man, that's
It was really, really awful. And I was so horrified, and my child was scarred. So
Wait, was it? It wasn't Monkey, was it?
no,
Okay,
no,
that's
no.
good
It was
at
my
least.
15-year-old.
Well, at least he's already seen probably worse shit
Yeah,
than that when
he's
you're
probably
got your
seen
back
worse.
turned.
But he was definitely shocked.
It's always so much worse when your mom is there. You can't, you're there with your kid, and I know you guys are, you're pretty open about a lot of stuff, and you're honest, but even that, there's still limits where you're like,
No. And the
this
funny
is
part is, it's
uncomfortable
like,
for everyone involved.
I rather than shut the window initially, I reached over and put my hands over his eyes.
You did
And
the
he was-
old
yeah.
movie theater thing,
Yeah.
like, oh wait, yeah, I
and
can
he
also just
bats
close
my
this
hand
down.
away, and he's like, "Mom, I'm not 7," and so I reached over and closed the
Like,
window.
yeah, but you're also still living at the house, which means I
Yeah.
don't want to have this conversation and know that this took place.
Oh,
Uh,
it's just.
Okay, so let's see. We got examples of conversations and answers for those conversation starters.
Yes.
So what do you got? What do you got? Jazz came up with this topic, which I actually think is a good one because honestly, I gave up ever explaining it to my family. I've talked about it, and they know it's a thing. I just gave up. It's just like,
Yep.
yeah, fuck it. You guys are never gonna understand it.
Because I had to have the conversation again with my mom because of the podcast. She was
Yeah.
like, "What is a podcast?" That was a fun conversation.
Oh Jesus.
With someone, yeah.
There's this company called Apple. You may have heard of it. Well, they started these things called casts on a iPod. And
Yeah.
from there, history was made. But yeah, so what kind of... I liked what you were saying earlier when before David had called in about the trying to help people, especially when people are... Yeah, let's be honest, we're all judgmental. Yeah, judgment and discernment, it's just it's human nature.
Oh
Yes.
boy.
We all look at...
You should see me looking at apps. I'm like, oh my god, but this person's a fucking psycho.
Like, who came up with this shit? And I make fun of the bronies and the furries and all stuff like that. In all honesty, I could give a shit less what you do in your private time. Just don't make me have to see it out in public.
Don't preach about it too.
Yeah, there's that
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Yeah. Being like, you
Nothing
have
ruins
to
Look
it
at me.
you
when the
have to
furries show
accept
up
me.
and
No,
no one
I don't.
shows.
You're dressed up. You're dressed. I can't take you seriously. You're wearing a unicorn head.
You
And
have a
you've got
fucking-
little...
You've
cat
seen
ears
my
on.
son, right?
got
My middle
hooves.
boy.
That's different. That's that fucking horse head mask. That's a teenage college.
That's
Well,
a
it's a-
meme.
Yeah,
It's a unicorn mask, head
yeah,
mask.
but that's not.
But
that's
still.
totally different from what I'm talking about.
Because I wouldn't buy him a horse mask. and he
Why?
wanted a horse. He wanted a horse and a tail, and I could not explain to my 13-year-old, who at the time was 11, why that would be a bad idea and what that might open up by ways of conversation that he was not prepared for.
Yeah, but the horse head thing, okay, the tail is a little too far. Like, you have to be a girl, like, at a Ren Fair to get right. Strafe, back me up on this. Tails at Ren Fairs are a thing. Yeah.
Because
Strafe is the one that actually talked to him and got him to understand that the unicorn might be a better choice.
wait, what? What? Excuse me? I do not remember this conversation.
He heard you talking and he heard you say, no, that would be a really bad idea about the horse. And I said, well, what about a unicorn? And you're like, well, at least that won't lead him down the wrong path.
No, I did not remember any of this. I think you have your friends crosswired, darling.
No,
but
I suppose
for
it's
your
possible.
point, Ashen, yes, Ren Fair is always fun until the freaking what do you call it? Furries show up, and they always show up without fail.
Do they? See, I was just talking because, like, I've when we go to the Muskogee Renaissance Fair here around here, they sell those little like bushy tails that girls can put on like their belt, and that's like all they have. That's a thing.
That thing's plentiful. That's the whole flirty. Hey, look, I'm kind of a flirty whatever.
Yeah, look how crazy I am. I'm silly. Yeah,
I want to be the Ren Fair Harley Quinn. That's pretty much about it.
No, I was not aware that the furries had anything to do with medieval times.
It doesn't matter. They just show up in their costume because it's an excuse to show up dressed up. That's what it's about, man. It's disturbing. I want to punch people in the face. I have to calm down and go get a beer
because they're wearing that giant head. It wouldn't do anything.
Oh,
They'd
they're
be
putting
like
on a giant mascot suit, and you can wail on them because now they're enfeebled because they can't see straight.
They're enfeebled. I cast enfeeble on you.
Stop! I'm in character.
No, I will say when we went to that Distant Worlds concert, there was one person there that had a chocobo costume. They had the whole costume, the head and everything. It was actually pretty fucking cool. But you were at a Final Fantasy concert, and it made sense.
Well, yeah.
And it was also I was in pants and a shirt, and I was sweating my balls off. I can't imagine what they were doing because it was hotter than hell in that theater.
It was.
It was so hot.
I mean, that's the thing, right? If you're going to a Star Wars movie, especially 1201, you see dudes in Stormtrooper armor and Jedi. So yeah, you're going to see a Star Wars movie.
I'll even accept a Trekkie at it, to be honest with you, just because it's a good troll.
It's a good troll. It's a whole, Star
and
Trek
Ewoks,
versus Star Trek.
I'm sure furries show up as Ewoks and stuff.
But when you have
there's
a
no
dude in a Jedi robe,
not a lot
and
of furry midgets,
furry mask and tail, you already know that dude is bending the rules and he's trying to slip in his.
What if he's a Bothan?
Right? And I'm like, dude, get out of here.
What if they're playing a Bothan?
Well, see, that's if they look like a Bothan, yeah, totally. Or Moncal.
That would actually be a pretty badass costume. Why can't furries do cool stuff like Bothans? Do that.
I don't know.
Man, damn furries. You guys are weird. How do we get on
Bothan?
furries?
Okay, I gotta look up.
Bothans are dog-like aliens. Yeah, they were mentioned. They were in Star Wars Galaxies, which Strafe knows, but they were also mentioned in Return of the Jedi by Mon Mothma. Many Bothans
died for these plans. I'm like, good. I hope they got the Imperial boot in the face.
Yeah. In the extended universe, they were actually pretty fucking cool. And some of them were pretty bad villains, too, even though they were supposed to be on the good guy's side. I forget what's his face that took over, or ended up being leader of the New Republic. He was a total dick. And the Yuuzhan Vong killed him. But that's beside the point. So, conversations and starters. But no, the comparing it to, like, letting people, because that's the same thing. Like, my parents, they do what, like you were saying, Jazz. They go home, and my mom watches TV all night because, her husband, Rodney, he's a trucker. He doesn't get home till 10, 11 o'clock at night. So when she gets off work at 4, she goes, gets her nails done every, 2 weeks or something, and she goes home, and that's, she watches TV, and because she's like Danny Tanner from Full House, she cleans like a motherfucker, but, after that's done, she's, that's all there is, She is seriously needs to, it's a problem, it's a real problem with her cleaning habits. A trait.
That's what my son says about me, remember?
A trait I will add that I have not inherited. Says the 2-foot pile of laundry sitting on my bed.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Sib's like,
yours is right next to it, so I don't
I
want to hear
know.
it from you.
I'm not
woman.
saying anything. I didn't say nothing.
You gave me a like you were.
No, I was agreeing with you
Like your
because I
shit don't stink.
have probably a 3-foot pile of laundry. I would love. Okay, I don't know how many people heard about this story about the guy breaking into somebody's house and actually doing their laundry.
That would be awesome.
Anybody is welcome to come to my house, break in, and do my laundry.
hey, this
You
is where I
can
live.
have food or whatever. Just do my laundry. I would love it. But yeah, there was some guy. I can't remember what it was, but
I think he broke in to get out of the cold or
yeah,
something.
and he did their laundry because he was in their house watching TV. So he just did their laundry. I was like, I want a burglar like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm totally okay with a burglar like that. Please come do my laundry. That would be awesome.
Well, there is that $900 that $900 machine they just unveiled a couple months ago.
I saw that. My
Yeah.
husband and I both were looking at that. Going,
It's
oh,
like-
that would be so nice.
Well, I mean, if
But
we
you still have to feed it in one piece at a time.
Right, but
I mean,
you
you're
don't.
Still...
But you could just feed it in while like aimlessly watching TV instead of having
That's
to
true.
be sitting there folding it and there's all that bullshit. Although, who folds their shirts? I mean, really, that was the weird thing. I don't really fold my
I
shirts. I put
fucking
them on.
suck at folding that shit.
I put them on a
Mm.
hanger.
Yeah, we hang up almost all of our shirts. The only thing we fold are obviously towels and things. So
Yeah, that's pretty much all we would need it for too.
I
my
fold it all.
husband would be
It's good
very happy
discipline.
if he never had to fold anything.
You're a
so.
disciplined. Yeah, no, we have coat hangers and stuff like that, so that we use for shirts. So I guess those are shirt hangers.
Sure, just hangers. They're just hangers.
No, they're called shirt hangers.
No, they're just hangers.
You're wrong. So anyway,
Yeah.
Last time.
you're just wrong. Wrong duck dong.
Go away.
So I got an interesting story about the whole trying to tell
Go
your
for it.
So I have three brothers. One is an uber nerd like me. He's the youngest. Played a lot of Halo together. He was the first one to
Halo!
jump on the roleplay band. He's now serving as Navy corpsman. He's a freaking hero, dude. He's a cool guy.
Cool.
The
Awesome.
middle brother, however, went more the redneck side of the force, and he likes to be outside, likes to hunt and all that stuff. But his fatal flaw, and I know he's a closet nerd, and this is the reason, because he's out-leveled me in EQ1 way back in the day when we were kids.
Oh wow, and that's that's not like modern MMOs either.
Oh no,
That was a
And
feat.
He was a barbarian warrior then. When EMU came out, he was an EQ1. He was a barbarian shaman. He got way up there, way before I did. And I'm sitting there thinking, yeah, man, you should just. I said, you ever just play your tune out? I was like, what are you talking about? You play a barbarian shaman, you have an origin story. He's like, dude, are you drinking? So I had to
That's not-
try to
that's
explain it to him.
beside
He
the
looked
point,
at me,
but
and he's
no.
like, yeah, that's kind of cool, but I'm cooler than that, dude.
You're playing an MMO, son. I'm afraid.
Yeah,
that-
that's what I told him. Well, you're already, playing the game. Why don't you just take on your tune's role? He just looked at me and went, well, see, some of me brothers, you, like to stay home and play on your computer all night. I like to go to the bar and talk to ladies. So, hey, it is what it is. And that's kind of how it broke down.
I like. And by go to the bar, talk to ladies, you mean try to buy them a drink, they drink it, and then they wander off. Right.
Mhm.
Oh, he's the ring gut side of the force.
Nope. He was
Hey,
mean to
he's
you,
got
so now I've got to be mean back. He's a poo-poo head.
Yeah,
I've
he's
said it.
doing
Somebody
But, hey,
had to
he's,
say it.
He's locked down with a kid now and a
Ooh.
wife, so he's amended his ways. But nowadays, he's like, hey, you still playing those things? I'm like, you're not going to play. You don't have time.
Yeah. Go feed your damn kid. You don't want it. Yeah, last thing you want him to do is to turn into what's her face from the guild, with locking him in like, just put him in the dog pen. They'll be fine for a couple hours.
Oh,
But I will
gosh.
say, he does what he does when he's watching his son. He throws on Star Trek: The Next Generation. He throws on all these cool things we watched growing up. And I'm like,
Right.
see,
See,
you're already
that's-
starting him nerdy
see.
early. It's like, you're such a closet nerd. And Joel's like, hey, I'm many things. I'm a multifaceted guy.
Yeah, for a nerd. Well, that's the thing. Everyone is like, I know a lot of my nerd friends. They love sports and football and all that shit, and whatever. That's cool. You can like more than one thing at a time. I don't know if I don't think
Possible.
It's funny how people don't seem to sometimes realize that. It's just like, just because I like this doesn't mean like I don't know world history or the politics of the day, or who's running what this or what's going on over in this part of the world. It's just yes, there are those people that role play and play video games that are like utterly clueless about the rest of the world, but that's ignorance of choice. That doesn't necessarily mean all people are like that. Just like all,
I think his thing is he didn't want to lose his street cred with his buddies running around in the real world. So he knew what it was, and he liked it back in the day, but he's like, oh, I can't do that. I had to who's all my friends kind of thing.
Right, and probably most of them they'd give him shit, but they really wouldn't care. But yeah, I mean that's the that's just how the world kind of goes a lot of times.
It's that friend that me and Jazz have that has friends that don't understand, and so he'd rather hang out with them than hang out with us. It's one of those situations.
Yeah, and he doesn't think they'll understand or accept it.
But he also doesn't give them a chance to find out either.
Well, yeah. Exactly.
And that's the thing. I think most people, like, they may not understand it. Like, for me, like, I don't understand a lot of things that people do. I also just don't give a shit. You know, I don't care if you're gay or lesbian or if you're a furry or if you're whatever you're into. I mean, it may not be something I get or something I like, but I also don't care. I mean, as long as you're not like, hey, I also like going up to random people and punching them in the head with a hammer. Okay, I care about that because you're hurting people. Don't do that. That's bad. You're being a jackass. But everything else anybody does, like privacy of your own home, or if you're not hurting anybody, who gives a shit? Do what you want to do. Yeah. Just don't hurt nobody while you're doing it, and you'll be all right. You'll be good.
Exactly.
And role players, they only hurt the people closest to them because words hurt. Words
they
hurt
do
a lot.
So much.
Be a safe space.
I'm looking at you, Jazz.
You built a safe room, didn't you?
He does have a safe room.
Yeah. I have a safe room in the house.
Is it a safe room or a panic room?
Well, I've decided yet.
Is it a panic safe room? No,
yeah.
No, the truth, Bob. You can't use the hammer. Unless it's one of those Three Stooges ones that were made of rubber, then you can hit people all day long with those. Those were okay.
I just hit people anyway.
I love hearing those complete tangent, those old Three Stooges stories about how people saw that and like not realizing they were smacking each other with rubber instruments, and then like kids end up in the hospital because they're like, but I saw it on Three Stooges. Like,
yeah, I know.
Yeah, well, you dented your brother's head.
And it's still happening today.
That's not going to buff out.
Yeah.
Actually, the truth, Bob, your mom and I have actually been meaning to talk to you about this for a while. I am your real dad.
Oh, dear gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yes, but Raj is everybody's daddy.
That's true. Yep, everyone calls him Daddy Raj. Papa Raj. Papa Raj. So, let's see here. The other things people might seem that are odd. We've kind of gone over that. One thing I will say that we are always better than is Civil War reenactors. We're better than you guys. You guys are weird. That shit's just... I mean, I get Melee and LARP before I get Civil War reenactors. It's
a lot of those guys, because I almost got into it back when I was a lot younger. It's appreciation of history, and
I get that. I get.
Like,
I appreciate
go march
history
the line,
too.
And when someone says shoot, some of us drop, and I don't know. Some of that is kind of weird, but some of it's kind of cool because they go out and do the whole camping like that thing.
Yeah, see, that's too much. Yeah, if I wanted to shit in a hole around a lot of people, I'd go to like Lollapalooza.
Oh my god!
Well, hey, have you heard of SCA?
Yes.
No,
I used to do that.
So, Society of Creative Anachronism. These guys literally reenact medieval life. They even act these giant battles, like at Pennsic. Giant field walls of dudes that go there.
That's
you have to wear real armor. You got rattan staves. You're literally beating the hell out of each other with wood staves. It hurts. It's a full body contact deal.
They're really a fun group of folks.
There's song creating, there's cooking, there's craft, and there's also the battle and knighthood. So all that stuff is, it's kind of like Civil War reenacting, except these guys do the whole combat deal and you're actually smacking
Yeah.
crap at each other.
SCA and LARP, and there's a couple other organizations that actually make the foam weapons that look like weapons.
Yeah, I've
And
actually
do
The
the
had a few
whole
of
guys, I
thing.
think those guys are a bunch of tools. I'm just saying.
One of the guys I'm very good friends with that lives in Montana does this as well as sail. It's one of his hobbies, and he's actually very good. So I've watched over the years as he showed people and taught people how he's a knight in an actual organization. It's really interesting.
What was
And
it called again?
I don't know what
SCA.
the name SCA is. What he was talking about, but there's several branches. SCA is the most well known because they actually have like military ranks and things like that, and you earn your way up. And I think that is what he's in, but I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, they
Lot
have
of fun.
knights, they have kings, they have kingdoms, and you have to actually apprentice and become a squire to a knight,
Yeah.
actually become a knight.
Yeah,
It's a
I
whole.
believe
it's
that
a
is
whole
what
thing.
he's in. Yeah, it's really cool and it's really involved.
That actually
and,
is cool. That's
And
kinda
he's
neat.
on Facebook as that. I mean, and he gets all kinds of strife from his family from
Oh, I
time to
bet.
time. And he always just was like, you know what, Mr. Paint Myself Blue and go to a football game, you can shut up.
Yeah. And you know that's one thing. You know, painting yourself blue in your team colors and supporting that's cool. It's 5 degrees outside. I don't think you're painted blue anymore. I think you're just actually freezing
Blue.
to death. I mean, that's a level of commitment to a team that doesn't care as long as you buy their jersey that I don't really, I'm not really willing to give. No, I actually think the Civil War reenactment thing, it is, I mean, it's like anything. There's always the people that goes way too far into it.
You're always going to
there's-
have anything like
even
this.
like even in
somebody
roleplay,
who's
we all
mental
know those
health
people that
issues.
it's like, sweetie, you need to step back a little bit.
Put down the elf ears
yeah,
and back up.
right. But I had a Mr. Brown. He was my art teacher in middle school, and I don't think he was a reenactor. He was making a musket, but he was patinaing it the old-fashioned way by pissing on it.
Oh, gee, mini
The way
Christmas.
they, that's how they.
That's how they used to. Yeah.
Nothing like authentic.
That's right, and that's how he was, I guess, oxidizing it, against rust and stuff like that. And he's telling the class like, yeah, I go out there and and I've peed on the barrel a couple times and just have to keep doing that to try to to it's like I'm looking around and like, I really like you, Mr. Brown. You're a great teacher, but I think you just lost your audience because there's nobody digging on this right now. Even I'm a little grossed out by it. And then it was like, so then you what? You touch it? Yeah. Like, do you wash it off first? Well, no, because that'd run off the pee. Like,
There's always those that take it to the bad place, right?
I get it's that pee is sterile, but it's still pee. Just saying, still urine, still a human fluid. Yeah, too far.
You always have those that take it to the bad place, man, and everything.
Yeah.
There's that, you're going to have people that, will stalk football players. You have people that always
the
have those
actresses
people.
or actors.
Yeah. You always have people that take it too far. And we have them in RP. We have them in theater. In theater, you'll have somebody sometimes who will put on the outfit for his role and go home in it and stay in it for 2 weeks.
Oh, people like that fucking Jared Leto, who was a terrible Joker and the worst that has ever happened ever. And he was like a total. He stayed in character the entire time they were filming that, and wasn't worth it. Leto, it was they were terrible. It was,
We all want Mark Hamill to actually do a live action Joker. I think I would lose my mind.
Oh, that would be awesome. Yeah.
That would be.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's not doing anything in Star Wars anymore. So
Yeah, seriously.
He's got time. But yeah, it's oof, that was taking it too far. And
What a way to kill my childhood, Ryan Johnson.
He'll probably just go the out route and just become a Force ghost in the last.
That's
film.
right. He'll come back and him and Yoda.
Sacred text.
Him and Yoda will be like smoking a blunt together and be like, "Dude, this isn't so bad. Why didn't you have me do this years ago?"
Then Hayden Christensen will come out here. Hey guys, am I allowed here?
No.
As long as he force
High
controls-
ground.
force
This is a good
controls
actor
Kylo
zone
issues.
only. Ugh. Poor Hayden Christensen. He's terrible. Still better than Jake Lloyd.
I saw an interview with Ewan McGregor about like the possibility of like Obi-Wan Kenobi
It's
film with him
happening.
in it. It's happening. He was literally had the beard,
It's yeah,
had the outfit on. He's like, oh, maybe
saw
I
that
don't
interview.
know.
yeah, that he was accepting award for something, and someone's like, "So, is there any truth to the rumor?" And he's like, "Well, hello there." You know, he literally has the exact his hair's growing out. He's got the same beard that Obi-Wan had. Like it's fucking
It's
nobody.
gonna be great because he's older now.
Right, and it'll
Yeah.
be perfect. And it's the same thing with like
was
Mark
a boy
Hamill
album.
when he was like, "So are you gonna be back, Mark?" And he's growing his hair out, and it's like, I don't know. We're still in talks. It's like you're fucking growing a beard, dude. You've never had a beard. You've always been clean shaven. You're definitely playing Skywalker again.
Yep.
If it was for 7 seconds in the first one.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Good stuff. I know Strafe really loves those movies. He's a big fan of the new ones for sure.
Yeah, you can shut your face.
Fanboying about it.
He's got his bedroom's
Speaking of
littered in
salty.
porgs.
Xanis, I will find you. It will not be good.
Kentucky. He's got the Kentucky Fried Pork stuff from KFC. He's all about it.
Oh.
Don't make me go Grand Admiral Thrawn on you, sir.
That's right. So all right, let's.
I'm not a fan of him either. Just because somebody made me read all the Star Wars books.
I didn't make you do anything.
You gotta read them. You gotta read them.
You gotta read
And
him. You gotta read him.
now
High five, Ashton.
they
High.
they never happened.
She loves it. It's not my fault. They took her Jaina and Jagged fell away. That had
I
nothing.
know. That was like the greatest love story ever, and now it never happened.
Hashtag justice for Jade, and that's Mara Jade for you
Mhm.
noobs.
Yeah, I liked Mara Jade too, but
She'll come back
Jaina was my
eventually.
favorite. How?
As like Thrawn. Like they brought Thrawn back, and he was.
Oh yeah. Ugh, no,
They'll bring.
I'm just
She won't be the same, but it's going to be a similar character. I mean, shoot, they could bring her back like she's the hand for Snoke or something like that. And now that's who knows? You never know what can
Luke's
happen.
dead now. It doesn't matter. It's sad.
That's true. That won't ever happen. There won't ever be a Ben Skywalker, but we got Ben Swallow. So with his massive wideness,
Shredded.
Should I post the picture again? Because
No.
I've posted it every
Yeah,
time.
I know you post it every time it comes up. Let's just say
You
Uh-huh.
need to
did.
post it.
Okay, we're
Alright,
posting it.
And now it's
We're gonna go post it. I gotta go
Uh,
find it now.
All right. So for our last little bit here, when you're trying to tell people stuff, what is it you would want to leave out of that conversation?
Oh, obviously.
The what? Erp? Oh
Um,
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the
I
first
don't.
thing that
I
comes
don't
up.
bring up the ERP as no. The ERP is not part of the conversation unless they point blank bring it up.
Once you start down the dark path, forever will it
Will it
dominate.
yeah, that's right. Forever will it dominate your destiny. But,
It is definitely the dark side of our.
Speaking of domination,
No, no.
Talking about ERP.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well
here,
played,
put on
Kish,
this
well
black
played.
leather gimp suit. There
I put
he
it
is.
in there.
Shredded.
It's in there.
There he is. There's those
shredded.
there's those 2.5 foot pectoral muscles.
He has like it doesn't even have like a 6-pack. It's like a 1-pack.
It's yeah. He's got like a 2-pack, but it's only split down the middle.
Jeez.
I've posted it like every week.
That's because she finds him extremely sexy. She likes her men wide, which is why I'm safe. And I'm only growing wider by the year.
Well, that's her good cooking. So
That's right.
Yeah, my
Not
love
safe.
is fattening.
But yeah, definitely you definitely don't want to go into and by the way, and people
Make out.
people like hey, they're playing cat characters making it with human characters.
Yes, because
Mm.
everyone wants one of those ruffled tongues on there.
That's right. Yeah, thanks for Kishmas for doing that one in a roleplay session. They were the bad guys, and they both got
Yes.
bonked over the head. But that was still something my character and CEO have never gotten out of their characters' minds. They still wake up in cold sweats hearing the
There's just some things you can't
sounds.
unsee.
Josh.
No, stop it.
So there's two things I don't typically tell people when I get them into roleplay. One is, of course, the dark side. Second of all is the whole issue with being trolled. I'm like, look, it's a game. There's some idiots in the game. You find idiots in real life. I leave it at that. I let them experience it for themselves, which might be evil, but hey,
That's a little evil.
Well, I
That
mean,
is a little
you
evil.
really can't explain it. You can't explain. It's hard to be like, okay, so you're going to be at a table, all right? You're going to be talking with somebody else at a table, and then somebody's going to come in riding on top of a giant fucking mount, and they're going to be wearing pink sparkly armor. All right, now what they're going to do is they're going to twerk on the table in front of your face, jiggling their butt right in front of you. Now, what you have to do is pretend that that's not happening and carry on like they're not jiggling their ass right in front of you.
Pro at ignoring that stuff.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking about for new people that you're like trying to like, yeah, no,
Instead of whispering and feeding.
Yeah, pretend Miley Cyrus isn't sitting there just making you want to throw up in your mouth a little bit. You just have to look past it. And for the love of God, if you say anything, they're only going to keep doing it.
Yeah, don't feed
There's
the
actually
trolls.
some cases where you talk to them in whispers, and they're like, "Oh yeah, totally. I'm sorry about that, dude." That's a rare case.
Yeah,
sorry, bro.
I didn't realize I was being mildly annoying to everybody. Yeah, that is pretty rare, but yeah, it has happened a couple times. But yeah, that's definitely something you tend to have to experience for yourself, the online trolling like that.
I think it's just hilarious when people run by and like nerds, and I'm like, well, nerd is basically just a definition of being smarter than you,
right? And and you just typed that into an online game you pay monthly for, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, so what does that make you?
You're literally no better than I am. The only difference is I just take it one little step further. But you're still playing an online
I get
game.
more out of the game than they do. I mean, yeah, I go level, but I feel like I get more out of it because I get the full experience of being able to RP and then level and then, just everything out of the game. I'm getting all my money's worth.
And you're not stuck waiting, 3 to 6 months between content expansions or, or DLCs in ESO's case.
No, because we're occupied.
See, as a former troll, it's better, I think, that they experience it, because I used to do it to folks, and then I realized what a dirtbag move it was. But you can't really explain it. You can kind of explain it. You kind of have to let it happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of times it's just a lack of maturity on the other person's part. Like, it doesn't matter the age. A lot of times, yes, they are younger.
Basically, you just have to be like, totally. Do you read books? Yeah. Do you visualize characters? Yeah. That's what we do.
Yeah. It's literally this.
What's a book?
Right, and then you're like, okay.
Never mind.
And is that like the ones that my grandma gets me, that when I pull the tab, the cat wiggles her tail, and then when I turn the next page,
something
everything
might
pops
pop
out?
up, but it's not a
That's
cat's
right.
tail.
Nomination.
Oh, Sibs.
I'm the nice one. Just remember that. We've been discussing this all day long. Me and Ashley.
Dirty
I'm
girl.
the nice one.
Like, I would never tell my dad, hey, man, we pretend to be like elves and stuff. He'd be like, what are you smoking? Are you on dope? Like, that's how the conversation would go. There's no point.
I mean,
right.
My dad's pretty much a nerd. He did D&D back in the day, so I'm pretty sure he'd be more understanding of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, at least he'd understand it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. My parents, they get it. They don't care. But that's where I get my lack of give a shit, is mostly from my parents. They just don't give a shit about, anything really at all. Nah, whatever. Just don't hurt anybody.
Yep.
So, yeah. So is there anything
Ashen, that means feelings too. Don't hurt people's feelings.
No, it doesn't hurt my feelings, so I feel fine.
Oh no.
What? I'm just saying.
What?
From I had like the cockles of my heart. I had that surgically removed 10 years ago. So I don't
Oh, cuckold. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Not cuckold. Cockles. Although,
my
I mean, if
God.
you're offering, hey, let's make this really uncomfortable for everybody.
Is it? Wait a minute. When did we start the ERP episode?
We
Let's
haven't
get
got
it
there yet.
on.
That's gonna be an
one.
interesting one.
Yeah, that'll
Delve
be
into
a
the dark side for sure.
yeah, that'll be a fun one when we get into that politics
Next
and
time,
religion.
how to explain ERP?
Yeah, right. So
First,
when a man and a
talk
woman
pro.
that don't know each other kind of think they love each other very much, they top a lot of oomphs over and over and over again.
Lord.
All right. Is there anything else we got here to leave out of a conversation, or any final thoughts on any of this stuff here? Any tangents we got? Because I know we've had like a shit ton of them.
We
tonight.
always have tangents.
Yeah, but I think people like that. I know I enjoy talking about stuff. It helps get things out there and prolong it a little bit.
It does.
So any
I got nothing.
you got nothing? Jazz, Kishbis, Strafay.
I think we've pretty much covered everything, as I'm a big proponent of just, of course, getting out of the closet in any sense is always important, I think. So
I think the rare spawn topic is when you can actually convert one of these trolls to role players. I've
that's
seen it
always
happen.
nice.
I've done
yes.
it. But a lot of these guys are
no.
PvPers, and they're like, no way. But some of them are like, yeah, I kind of feel bad, and like, oh, there it is. That's the hook.
Yeah.
Wondering.
Well, there's only one way to know for sure. Talk to this girl over here that's probably a guy.
A girl, guy in real life.
Hey, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that does stand for that, huh? Yeah, that's good.
My night elf.
Rule of thumb: assume every female in the game is a dude.
Man,
You'll
it's
be
all
safe.
safe. Till you hear
You're
my
not
voice
supposed
chat.
to assume gender.
I could give a toss less.
That's like
What
the
was that
literal.
about?
That's the literal form of assuming someone's gender. Like, I just assume you were a dude.
So you know better.
That's right. Well,
I do want you to throw out again the information about you and David's match.
oh yeah, I'll get all that, and
Okay.
that'll be. I think we're gonna go do that about 7:00 tomorrow. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna have it'll be on this channel here. He'll be on with me as well. It's just going to be a bloodbath. I mean, I know the game doesn't actually have blood, but I'm going to beat him so badly that it'll actually turn on automatically just because.
This is 2018. Please put blood in it.
In Dragon Ball, yeah. Well, the Dragon Ball Z has blood in it every now and then. It's not like Batman the Animated Series where the very first episode had. What are you doing? But so I got kissed for some reason. I feel like I've done something wrong now. Is that bad?
You're doing something right when you make them question reality when you kiss
That's
them.
right.
That's fantastic.
That's right.
Is it?
Reality shifting, man.
I totally threw him off his game.
Is this the Outer Limits? Is it- But yeah, no, the Batman animated series, the very first episode, Batman got punched and there was a trickle of blood, and that was the one and only time Batman had blood in it because they came down like a fucking hammer on that. So
that show was really dark and good, man.
it
I
really
miss
was.
it.
That was DC's animation line has always been really good about that stuff too. Even when they
Best Batman ever.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was good stuff. Although the Batman Arkham games were fantastic storytelling too. I actually played through that Telltale Batman. That was really different.
Did you notice that the Arkham had the same voice actors from a lot of the animated series?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Which made it epic.
Yeah, which made it because it had Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill and all that stuff. Yeah, I know all those guys. They're fantastic. But so yeah, well, tune in if you guys like Dragon Ball, or if you like fighter games, or if you just enjoy listening to us bullshit about stuff. I'll be beating the crap out of one of the listeners,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna be fantastic. We'll try to do our let's see if hi, I'm Goku, that kind of thing. you know, I'm gonna whip your butt. Whatever. I don't know. I can't do it right now because I've been talking for 2 hours. But so, and of course, I think that'll wrap us up for that.
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
Yeah, just just try to be honest. You know who's gonna figure it out. There really is nothing to be ashamed about for role playing. It's just as good of a thing as sitting there on your ass for, binge watching a TV show, which I'm not shaming you for because I've binge watched the shit out of a lot of shows. Yeah, we've been going through The Gifted, and I've been watching whatever the Electric Paradise or something that Amazon has, which is their version of Black Mirror, which is surprisingly good. So I love that stuff. But
great topic, Jazz.
Yeah, I just finished watching a binge watching a show called Stitchers. So
how is that? I've seen it on there. I just have no idea I forget what it was about.
I absolutely thought I was going to hate it, and because it's a bunch of millennials, but it was fantastic.
Hey.
I loved it.
Yeah, those millennials.
Hey, you love me, Jazz. What are you saying?
I know. I just usually shows for them for
millennial?
that target the millennials, people that are in their late 20s and early 30s.
Oh my god.
Are usually like 90210 on steroids, and I can't stand that crap. So I usually don't like it, but I absolutely love this show.
Like all of the CW superhero shows.
Yeah. I want to like those shows. I just can't because they drive me crazy. So I was expecting to hate it, and it was amazing.
What was
and I couldn't stop watching it. Basically, this chick who's mentally was damaged by her father. It's long in the story. They stitch into dead people who before their brains completely decompose, because basically when you die, your brain still has electricity in it, and it takes it a while for it to seep away.
It's like a capacitor.
So at first, after you're dead and you're brain dead, you no longer have any brain function. You are dead, but your brain still has electrical impulses, so they stitch in and they get the imprint of, and she sees who killed you or what you did wrong or whatever to try and solve mysteries.
Okay. Well, that sounds kind of neat. Yeah, I've seen it on there. I just haven't, there's just so many damn shows. It's hard to keep up with anymore.
Yeah.
So.
And I watch Hulu. So
yeah, we got Hulu.
It's on
Netflix,
Hulu
and
Netflix. Yeah. So I saw it on that, and I'm absolutely.
Yeah. Well, all right, everybody. I think we'll go ahead and cue the music. Appreciate everybody tuning in.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
29th episode of RPMMO Radio.
See you next Saturday.
Yeah, I gotta do the outro thing before you guys all say bye. It's how this works. It's like there's
the gun.
There's still a rhythm. You're jumping. Yeah.
Oh,
don't
sorry.
Jump the gun. Yeah. So if you want to
Bye.
contact, oh my God, for the love of sweet
Jazz,
Jesus.
I love you, Jazz.
This is apparently our first episode of RPMMO Radio, not the 29th, because nobody knows how this works. So visit us at rpmmradio.com. Join our Discord, rpmmradio.com/Discord. You can visit us on Facebook, Twitter. Email us at rpmmradio@gmail.com.
Can I say it yet?
Go ahead, say it.
Bye. I'm going with Jazz.
You guys are the worst. Just the worst.
Women.
So anyway, tune in next week when we'll go over halflings and why, I don't know, something. They're not even real people. Who gives a shit?
My brother plays a halfling. He will love it.
Your brother's not a real person either. I think he's a pygmy of your imagination. Get it? Because they're short. Anyway, thanks everybody. Episode 29, RPMMO Radio. I'm Ashton Phoenix. I want to thank everybody. Jazz, Kishma Sib, Strafay. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here. And we'll see you next week. Next time on RPMMO Radio. Good night, everybody. The thoughts and opinions of RPMMO Radio are just that and should not be taken as the gospel truth, but pretty close to it. Music, as always, is provided by Husky by the Geek. Visit him at youtube.com/HuskyByTheGeek to hear all his great rock covers of video game music and original tunes.